My name's Yusuf. Did you say Yusuf? No, you said Yusuf. You're very good. I wish you'd teach my wife. She keeps mispronouncing it. She calls me useless. Alhamdulillah. Now, how many of you were in the program today? I was teaching us, trying to teach about how to call the people to Islam called dawah. How many were there? Okay? All right. I just used an example what I was telling you about. Remember I was telling you when you introduce yourself to somebody, you got to get friendly with them. So I just used an example right there. Because this will disarm the people. This disarm them and make them relax a little bit. Because they're coming to you with things like, how come you Muslims has to kill all the people? What kind of question is that? How come you have to beat your wives? Why does your book tell you that you're the only ones going to go to paradise? So these kind of questions, when they come to you, what are you going to do? So the first thing, as we said in the program, and I hope, by the way, if you didn't join us today, join us tomorrow. Are we continuing tomorrow on the dawah thing or no? Oh, okay. But when we're doing it, you look through the schedule. I'm not going to get into that, but just look through the schedule and join us for this whenever we're talking about the dawah. Because part of giving dawah is you. And if the people aren't buying it, they're not going to listen to what you got to say. So you got to soften them up a little bit. Got me? Okay, where are we? The subject tonight is the subject of priests and preachers entering Islam. And often people ask me, we heard about you used to be a priest or something, and you came into Islam, so, tell us about it. We want to know, how does that happen? And it's not just Muslims who want to know. Non-Muslims would like to know the story too, because they feel like, you mean you didn't understand? I mean, you were a priest, you didn't understand about Jesus? Come on, man. So, it's a topic that I talk about a lot. The first thing I have to do is clarify a couple of points. I was not a priest. In the English, we use the word priest to mean somebody who is in the Catholic Church. If you're not from the Catholics, if you're from the Protestants, then you don't use that term. We usually use the term, for instance, pastor, minister, preacher, reverend, and these are some of the titles. We came up with an awful lot of them because that's the way humans are, right? Give ourselves titles. So, I was a preacher and a minister of music. But
okay. Hello guys, peace of Christ to all of you. This is an email sent to me, this video by an email. Somebody, a Muslim, challenged me to explain this. The Muslims are, honestly, they are a bunch of potatoes. But anyway, I will pause this video, but I will not keep it long in my page. Because it might be a trap from Muslims to say we have copyright over this video. So I will post it and you can download it and you can spread it out. In here we heard this guy saying something very important. Let us review a little bit. I'm not going to make a speech about this video, but just to show you when we say Muslims are allowed to lie, they mean it. And it's true. They are allowed to lie. Listen carefully again.
Still awake, huh? Okay. We didn't bore you to death yet, but we'll work on it, inshallah. My name's Yusuf. Did you say Yusuf? No, you said Yusuf. You're very good. I wish you'd teach my wife. She keeps mispronouncing it. She calls me useless.
Attention. This is the first one, you see? Because later he will explain to you why he said what he said, because he is going to use it to disarm the infidels, the Christians. Because no one will believe that his wife, she is living with him for maybe 20, 30 years, she do not know how to call or to say his name. Like your name is not really that complicated. What a big deal, Yusuf. So nobody will believe such a lie. So it's a lie he create to be funny. Remember, now why he want to be funny? Listen to this.
Alhamdulillah. Now, how many of you were in the program today? I was teaching us, trying to teach about how to call the people to Islam called dawah. How many were there? Okay? All right. I just used an example what I was telling you about. Remember I was telling you when you introduce yourself to somebody, you got to get friendly with them. So I just used an example right there. Because this will disarm the people. This disarm them and make them relax a little bit. Because they're coming to you with things like, how come you Muslims has to kill all the people? What kind of question is that? How come you have to beat your wives?
Yeah, how we are going to answer such a question? So what we do, we disarm them from questions so we can say our propaganda. Now let us show you that the Muslims, even they are allowed to disobey Islam, to disobey their prophet if it is about fooling people to convert to Islam. For the sake of converting people to Islam, Muslims are allowed to make all kinds of lies. We heard this guy saying in the video, we should be friendly when we come to do dawah. Dawah, which means inviting people to Islam, okay, to trying to convert you, a missionary for Islam. We have to be friendly, we have to be fun with them, we have to be nice with them. Now, according to their prophet, if you remember, we showed you in different video, the prophet of the Islam, he said the following. As you see in here, this is Ibn Kathir, and this is the Quran, and this is the Muslim website. Saying it clearly, you can open it all and see the shame of Islam, how filthy this religion is. To make it short, we don't have much time left. Muslims are not allowed to respect Christians or Jewish. They are not allowed to honor them. And you can read it by yourself. This is orders of the Prophet. And Muslims are not allowed to honor those who they are people of Dhimma, which mean the Christian and the Jew. Because the Christians, they are miserable and disgraced and humiliated. Muslims recorded from Abu Huraira, which means this is from Sahih Muslim, the Prophet said, don't initiate salam to the Jewish and the Christians if you meet them in the road. Force them to the most narrow alley. What does that mean? It means when you see a Christian, push him even in the sewer line, humiliate him as much as you can, beat him, spit on him, because you are not allowed to respect them. And you can in the same page you read the pact of Umar ibn al-Khattab. This is the most justice man according to Muslims. Umar ibn al-Khattab is the most justice. He made the Christian life miserable in Jerusalem. And see how the justice of Islam. If Muslims enter your city and you are a Christian, they will force you to shave your head. They will force you that any Muslim man, he can go inside your bedroom and sleep next to your wife in the bed 3 days, 3 nights for free. You can go and read it and you will see how ugly, disgusting this religion, how they force millions of people to convert to Islam. Because after they took over the city, and this is the rules, who can handle it? Nobody will allow anyone to go and sleep in the bed of his wife. Nobody will allow anyone to knock at his door and say, hey, I'm a Muslim, I want to sleep in your house. You know, no one will live in a place where wherever he go, people, they slam his face, spit on him just because he's a Christian. So they use this pressure to make people leave leave Christianity fast. And it was the best way to make it fast. And even to force them to speak Arabic. This is a very successful strategy. It's evil. This is the Satan himself doing his strategy. But in the video we heard this guy saying, when you see those Christians, you know, be funny with them, even make lies about you and your wife. Make them laugh. Laugh at who? At me, so what? Because we want to convert them to Islam. Because simply we want to disarm them from their questions. So the best way to disarm them is to be funny and to be nice, to be cool. But as you see, the Prophet, he ordered Muslims to be the opposite. Now what is different? Why he is saying this and the Prophet saying that? Only different is the following. This is an order for Muslims when they have the upper hand. And this is the case always in Islam. If they have the upper hand, they are nice with you. In the way you see, by humiliating you, by spitting in your face, by putting you in the sewer line, by torturing you, if they have the upper hand. Now what if you have the upper hand? Then we will hear this guy teaching Muslims how to lie. Be friendly with them because we have no choice. We don't have the upper hand. We cannot push them in the sewer line. We can put a sword in their neck to say convert to Islam or we will kill you. So the only difference between the two cases is, one, the Muslims have the upper hand, so they can humiliate you and they don't care about you be accepting them or disarm you. You are disarmed already. Your weapon is not in your hand. They have the sword, you have nothing. For those who live in America, they don't have the upper hand. So what we will do? We will do it this way until we have the upper hand, then we will destroy the country, and then we will humiliate the Christian and the Jew. So we wanted to share this with you, to teach you how Muslims, they have a plan to disarm you. Follow with me with the coming video. Christ is Lord, Islam is evil. Amen.